हॅलो फ्रेंड्स, आपणा सर्वांचं सिक्रेट प्रॅक्टिस इयत्ता 12वी च्या या व्हिडिओ लेक्चरमध्ये हार्दिक स्वागत. बिफोर स्टार्टिंग this video lecture, I just revised what we studied in previous video lectures. In previous lectures, we studied shares, features of shares, equity shares, its features, preference shares, its features, retained earnings, its determinants, meaning, introduction, then advantages and disadvantages of retained earnings. Then you start debenture, that is borrowed capital. What is meant by borrowed capital? What is the difference between borrowed capital and own capital? Debenture and features of debenture. So in this lecture we continue the remaining part of the debenture, that is types of debentures. Debenture is a debt instrument through which company collect borrowed capital. There are various types of debentures on various bases. So on the basis of security, debentures are secure debentures and unsecured debentures. On the basis of transfer, debentures are registered debentures and bearer debentures. On the basis of repayment, there are two types: redeemable debentures and irredeemable debentures. On the basis of conversion, convertible debenture and non-convertible debenture. So first of all, we start from first type of debenture, that is debenture on the basis of security. Secure debentures and unsecured debentures. Those debentures which create charge on the assets of the company are known as secure debentures or mortgage debentures. Those debentures which create charge on the assets of the company known as secured or mortgage debenture. Secured or mortgage debenture. Then what is meant by charge on assets of the company? Charge on assets of the company means company create lien. It is one of the documentary procedure or formalities through which company create a charge or create a lien or interest on the company's assets. Then what is the objective? Why company create charge on the assets of the company? Because if company is not able to pay the debt, specifically the amount of debenture after the maturity period, so at that time company sell its assets on which charge is created, and pay the amount to debenture holder. It is the benefit of charge on assets of the company. So charge on assets means it is one of the documentary procedure which is followed or which is completed by company management charge on assets. It is a lien or interest created on the assets of the company in favor of creditors of the company, because debenture holders, as we discussed earlier, are known as creditors of the company. When company issue the debentures, that time provides security by the assets. The charge may be of two types. Charge may be fixed charge or floating charge. If charge is created on particular assets, then it is known as a fixed charge. If charge is created on general assets, known as a floating charge. So charge is of two types: floating charge and fixed. Floating charge and fixed charge. If charge is created on particular assets, it is known as a fixed charge. For the protection of security, company appoint debenture trustees by making trust deed. For the protection of security, company appoint debenture trustees by making trust deed. Then what is meant by trust deed? As we discussed, one of the feature, there are three parties in debenture while issuing debenture: company, trust deed, and debenture holder. Trust deed protect the interest of debenture holder through trust deed. These debentures have right if company fails for the payment of return on repayment of capital. Payment of return means payment of interest, because when any person invest amount in debentures of any company, at that time that particular person get interest as a return on their investment. That's why it is known as a fails to payment of return. Fails to payment of return, that is fails to payment of interest. Interest as return on investment. Interest as a return on investment. Or repayment of capital repayment of capital on maturity period. That time these debenture holders consult with the issue and debenture trustees and take charge of assets and sell them in the market and make payment of debenture holder. As per Companies Act 2013, a company only issue secured debentures to the public. Company issue secured debentures to the public. मराठीमध्ये सांगतो थोडंसं. चार्ज ऑन एसेट्स म्हणजे काय, और चार्ज ऑफ एसेट्स किसे कहा जाता है? जब कंपनी डिबेंचर इशू करती है तो at the time of issuing debenture there are three parties, one of the company, second is debenture trustees and third is debenture holder. चार्ज ऑन ॲसेट्स म्हणजे कंपनी एक डॉक्युमेंट प्रोसिजर फॉर्म फॉलो करते की ज्यामार्फत एक डॉक्युमेंट साईन केलं जातं की जे ट्रस्ट डीड मार्फत साईन केलं जातं की जोपर्यंत कंपनी डिबेंचर होल्डरचे पैसे आणि त्याचे रिटर्न ऑन इन्व्हेस्टमेंट इन द फॉर्म ऑफ इंटरेस्ट, रिटर्न ऑन इन्व्हेस्टमेंट इन द फॉर्म ऑफ इंटरेस्ट इथं लिहिलेलं आहे, इंटरेस्ट आणि रिपेमेंट ऑफ कॅपिटल करत नाही तोपर्यंत त्या ॲसेट्स कंपनीला कधीही विकता येणार नाही. असं एक डॉक्युमेंटरी प्रोसिजर फॉलो केली जाते की ज्याला म्हटलं जातं चार्ज ऑन ॲसेट्स ऑफ द कंपनी. जर कंपनीने ते ॲसेट्सचे पैसे कंपनीने डिबेंचरचे पैसे रिपे केले नाहीत तर जी अमाऊंट शिल्लक तर कंपनी काय करते, तर कंपनी स्वतःचे ॲसेट्स सेल करते बाजारामध्ये, मार्केटमध्ये, आणि ते डिबेंचर होल्डरचे पैसे रिपे केले जातात. known as secured debentures. Next type of debenture on the basis of security, that is unsecured debentures. Those debenture does not have any security or not create charge on the assets. These are known as unsecured debentures. Those debentures does not have any security or not create charge on the assets. These are known as unsecured debentures. A company's solvency in the security to the debenture holder. The Companies Amendment Act 2000 and Companies Act 2013. A company never issue unsecured debentures, but under the public deposits, a company may issue unsecured debentures up to 10% of net worth. कंपनीनं जे ॲसेट्स, जे डिबेंचर्स कंपनीच्या ॲसेट्सवरती चार्ज क्रिएट करत नाहीत त्यांना अनसेक्युअर्ड डिबेंचर्स असं म्हटलं जातं. कंपनी ॲक्ट 2013नुसार कंपनीनं कसल्याही परिस्थितीमध्ये अनसेक्युअर्ड डिबेंचर्स इश्यू करायचे नाहीत. पण अंडर सर्टन सिच्युएशन कंपनी इश्यू पब्लिक डिपॉझिट्स ॲज अ अनसेक्युअर्ड डिबेंचर अप टू 10% ऑफ नेटवर्थ. They are issued by private placement and guaranteed by board of directors, but there is guarantee of board of director for issuing unsecured debentures. Those debenture which does not create any charge over the assets of the company, known as unsecured debentures. A company never issue unsecured debentures, but under the public deposits, a company may issue unsecured debentures up to 10%, up to 10% of net worth. And these debentures are guaranteed by board of director. हा पॉइंट फार महत्त्वाचा आहे. दिस पॉइंट इज इम्पॉर्टंट बिकॉज while we study, while we in next chapter, that is issue of deposits or deposits के चैप्टर में इसका उल्लेख फिर एक बार किया जाएगा. That's why you have to remember what is meant by unsecured debenture, under which circumstances company issue unsecured debentures, and that is 10% of net worth. और उसकी जो गारंटी है वो बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स ने ली हुई होती है. दैट इज बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर्स इशू unsecured debentures and guarantee is taken by board of directors of that particular unsecured debentures which are not more than or up to 10% of net worth. Next type of debenture on the basis of transfer. Registered debenture and bearer debentures. And what is meant by registered debenture and what is meant by bearer debentures? Registered debentures are those in respect of which names, addresses, face value, maturity period, and particulars of holdings of the debenture holders are registered by company in the register of debenture holder. हे असे डिबेंचर्स आहेत की ज्यांचं नाव, ॲड्रेस, फेस व्हॅल्यू ऑफ डिबेंचर, मॅच्युरिटी पिरियड ऑफ डिबेंचर, all these things, that is all particulars of the debenture is mentioned in the register of debenture holder by company. Only those debenture holder whose name appear in the register and entitled to interest are entitled to interest and repayment of principal. ज्यांची नावं किंवा ज्या डिबेंचर होल्डरची नावं रजिस्टर ऑफ डिबेंचर होल्डरमध्ये लिहिली असतात त्यांनाच प्रिन्सिपलचं रिपेमेंट केलं जातं किंवा इंटरेस्टचं रिपेमेंट केलं जातं. The one important point regarding registered debenture is registered debenture holder can get interest as a return on investment by interest warrant. एका मार्कासाठी हा प्रश्न विचारला जाऊ शकतो. Registered debenture are those whose name, address, face value, maturity period, and particulars of holdings of debenture holder are mentioned in the register of debenture holder known as a registered debenture. Only those debenture whose name is appear in the register of debenture holder are having a right to receive interest and repayment of principal. These debenture holder get interest by interest warrant. This is important sentence. Registered debenture holder get interest by interest warrant. These debenture holders can be transferred as per the provision of the Articles of Association. Then what is meant by Articles of Association? Articles of Association is one of the document which includes the rules and regulations for the internal management of the company known as Articles of Association. In this case, debentures can be transferred by executing regular transfer deed. Next type of debenture, that is bearer debenture. Bearer debenture are those which are not recorded in the register of company. Bearer debenture are those which are not recorded in the register of company, and registered debenture means those who are recorded in the register of company. The company does not maintain any records of holders. They are considered as a negotiable document, means the document which is transferred by mere delivery, that is hand delivery by one person to another person, and for transferring of such type of debenture does not require transfer deed. And these debenture holders get interest by interest coupon. These debenture holder get interest by interest interest coupon. Does not require any transfer deed. Transferable by mere hand delivery. These interest coupons, this statement is also important. These interest coupons are attached with debenture warrant. Interest coupon are attached with debenture warrant. So what is the basic difference between registered debentures and bearer debentures? Registered debenture means the debentures whose name is appeared in the register of debenture holder, known as the registered debenture holders, and they can be transferred by following transfer deed, and they get interest by interest warrant. And what is by bearer debenture? Bearer debenture means the debentures whose are not recorded in the register of company, known as bearer debentures. For transferring debenture does not require follow transfer deed. They can be transferred by mere hand delivery. एका व्यक्तीने दुसऱ्या व्यक्तीला दिले तरी ते त्या व्यक्तीच होणार आहे. असं डिबेंचर म्हणजे बिअरर डिबेंचर. अँड द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ बिअरर डिबेंचर holder gets through interest coupon which is attached with debenture warrant. Next type of debenture on the basis of repayment: redeemable debentures and irredeemable debentures. Redeemable debentures are those debentures which will be repaid after a specific maturity period at the end of specific maturity period or installment during the lifetime of the company. Redeemable debentures are those debentures which will be repaid by the company at the end of specified period on or an installments during the lifetime of the company. Repayment of principal sum is made in accordance with the terms already made known at the time of issue. रिडीमेबल डिबेंचर्स क्या है? रिडीमेबल डिबेंचर्स वो है जो आफ्टर स्पेसिफिक मैच्योरिटी पीरियड के बाद डिबेंचर होल्डर को उसके प्रिंसिपल और इंटरेस्ट रीपे किया जाता है, उसे कहते हैं रिडीमेबल डिबेंचर्स. For repayment of debentures, company create every year out of its profit one fund known as a debenture redemption reserve fund. Debenture redemption reserve fund. Company must repay the amount of debenture, that is 50% amount of debenture out of debenture redemption reserve fund. Generally, debentures are issued up to 10 years by normal companies and up to 30 years by infrastructural development companies. By infrastructural development companies. Repayment of principal sum is made in accordance with the terms already made known at the time of issue. Redeemable debentures. Those debentures which are repaid at the end of specific period, it is at the end of maturity, known as redeemable debenture. So these debentures are redeemed out of debenture redemption reserve fund. The maturity period or time period of debenture in case of normal companies 10 years and infrastructural based companies 30 years. Next type of debenture, irredeemable debentures, are those debentures which are repaid by the company at the time of company goes on liquidation. When company closed down, shut down its business, at that time company repay the amount of debenture known as a irredeemable debenture. Redeemable परतफेड करण्याजोगे डिबेंचर. इरिडेमेबल कधीही परतफेड न करण्याजोगे डिबेंचर. These are the debentures which are not redeemed in the lifetime of the company. जे कंपनी संपूर्ण आयुष्यामध्ये कधीही रिपे करत नाही, known as a debenture that is not redeemed in the lifetime of the company. The amount of such debt or loan is repayable on the happening of specific contingencies. They are repaid on liquidation as per company's financial position. And what is meant by liquidation? Liquidation means the process in which the company's business is closed down, shut down. When the liquidation process starts, the one person is appointed known as a liquidator. So what is the job of liquidator in process of liquidation of company? Liquidator first charge some expenses for liquidation purpose, then his liquidator's commission, then after payment of liquidator commission, the next payment is done to the debenture holder. Through irredeemable debentures were allowed under section 120 of Companies Act 1956, which is not presently in working. No corresponding provision has been made under Companies Act 2020. Thus, no fresh irredeemable debentures may be issued by the companies. They are issued before Companies Act 2013 by companies. Means as per Companies Act 2013, companies cannot issue irredeemable debentures. Companies cannot issue irredeemable debentures. They are issued before Companies Act 2013 by companies, but after execution, but after enforcement of the law, that is Companies Act 2013, companies cannot issue irredeemable debentures. Before that, before 2013, if any company issue irredeemable debentures, it is okay. Then it is okay. But after 2013, or after the execution of or enforcement of the act, that is to Companies Act 2013, company cannot issue irredeemable debentures. आता इरिडेमेबल डिबेंचर्स म्हणजे काय की जे डिबेंचर्स कंपनी त्याच्या लाईफ टाईममध्ये कधीही रिपे करत नाही त्याला म्हणतात इरिडेमेबल डिबेंचर्स. जोपर्यंत कंपनी अस्तित्वामध्ये आहे तोपर्यंत ते कंपनीमध्ये ते डिबेंचर राहतात, त्याला म्हणतात इरिडेमेबल डिबेंचर्स. पण जर कंपनी बंद करण्याची लिक्विडेशनमध्ये कंपनी गेली, कंपनी क्लोज करण्याची प्रोसेस सुरू झाली, तर जर कंपनीची फायनान्शियल कंडिशन चांगली असेल, मीन्स ॲसेट्स आर मोर दॅन लायबिलिटीज, then and then only company pay amount to the irredeemable debenture holders. But as per Companies Act 2013, companies cannot issue irredeemable debentures. Before that, before enforcement of the act, that is Companies Act 2013, if any company issue irredeemable debentures, then there is no problem. But after 2013, companies cannot issue irredeemable debentures. Next type of debenture, that is debenture on the basis of conversion, convertible debentures and non-convertible debentures. Debentures which are converted into equity shares either wholly or in part at the option of the debenture holder, known as convertible debenture. The terms and conditions of conversions are generally announced at the time of issue of debenture. The idea of convertible debenture, or why any company issue convertible debenture, the idea behind that concept is, it is expected that getting equity shares in future, it is optional for debenture holder, means it is not compulsory for the debenture holder that he may convert its debenture into equity shares or not. Either he convert its debentures into equity share or get redeemed its debenture after a specific period of time. So conversion of debenture is optional and not compulsory. Conversion of debenture into equity share is optional and not compulsory. The conversion period is after 18 months and before 36 months of the allotment of debentures. Means if any company issue debenture, so after 18 months and before 36 months of allotment of debenture, the debenture holder can convert its debenture into equity shares, but the conversion is optional. Either he convert its debenture or redeem its debenture. But for the conversion purpose, that is conversion of debenture into equity share, the company is required to take approval from existing equity shareholder by passing a special resolution in the general meeting. Then what is meant by special resolution? Special resolution means the resolution which is passed by the company by 3/4 of the majority, known as a special resolution. The concept that is special resolution we already studied in 11th standard secretarial practice. In company meeting, first topic. Nowadays, convertible debentures are very popular, but the conversion is optional. The idea behind issuing convertible debenture is to attract more persons to convert them into equity shares. But for the conversion purpose, the approval of shareholder, existing equity shareholder, is necessary by passing special resolution in general meeting. The conversion period is after 18 months and before 36 months of issuing. Sorry, of allotment of debentures. Next, non-convertible debentures.